Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Rewatch. I am Nick, and joining me is Fire Nation enjoyer Jared.
Flame on!
I am regretting everything now. So this week we are diving into the second saddest episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What's the first?
That comes later. And by that, I mean literally the next episode. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
So this is a really interesting episode because instead of just telling one big story, it's kind of broken up into like a bunch of like really smaller stories. And because of that, I figured we kind of go talk about each story individually and kind of do that. But before we do that, Jared, overall, just overall the whole episode, what did you think?
I liked how each story was very tailored to each individual character. It felt like an Aang story, a Sokka story, or as they're correctly known as Aang and Sokka, but or like Toph, Katara, and all that stuff. So in other words, I like how they fit them to each character's personality.
Why, brother? Why?
I'm just bringing. You want to be wrong?
I prefer to be right, which I know I'm right.
You're right in terms of the correct pronunciation was actually in the movie.
Well, this is
our last episode, but so I guess let's start with the Toph and Katara one.
All right, so basically, it kind of starts off with them kind of getting ready for the day. What do you think about that? Like them kind of just in the mirror.
Aang is like shaving his head. Sokka's like shaving the whiskers he's got, and
he's got a very adult film stash.
Yeah, and then I love how much hair Toph actually has. It's like
she has the anime hair.
She has 90s comic hair.
I was gonna say like anime hair, like Goku is like Goku called. He wants his hairstyle back.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much that. I expected her to start doing a Kamehameha.
Yeah, and so Katara and Toph decide to have a girls' day, a spa day, which fair enough. They've been running for their lives long enough. I think they deserve some time to themselves.
And I love how Toph goes, "They better not touch my feet."
What do they do?
The next image, and she's like, "They touch her feet," and she kicks one through a wall.
I just love the image of like I love like the juxtaposition of like Katara. She's like, "Oh, it's so nice, so relaxing." It's like, hold her down, hold her down. She's resisting. What do we do?
Like, she's resisting. Stop resisting. It's so good. I love that.
I'm resisting your resistance attempt. And then like the next day they see the girl get thrown out the window. I like that like afterwards they show her kind of just sighing as like, okay, yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how she comes out. She's all pretty and made up and stuff. And they basically have a good conversation about her being blind. So she's like, I never really cared about what I look like because it's not like I'm going to see it. And then you have like a bunch of people making fun of Toph, and then they're thrown into the sea.
Yeah, my favorite part is when Katara says it to Toph and she smiles. You want to know like what makes that scene really beautiful?
What?
Toph can tell when people are lying.
Mm-hmm.
So she knew that Katara meant it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could tell that Katara was not lying. She wasn't saying that to make her feel better. She actually thought she was beautiful. And I just gotta say that moment, it just kind of pulls the heartstrings because Lady Toph smiles after that.
Very nice.
Like,
I like that.
Toph knew.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta say it. Toph would make for a really frustrating wife because it's like, did you sneak the extra Oreo?
No.
I literally know you're lying.
That's when you have a pulley system that essentially suspends you from the ground so she can't read you. That's when you learn to be an acrobat.
Sorry, okay. I had a really great joke in my head, but I'll tell it to you after we get done here because it's a little.
So, the tale of Iroh. This is so much fun. I love this. It's the correct pronunciation, Nick. I have to be culturally sensitive.
Suck on a bag of rocks.
Is it rock candy?
No, it's tar. It is poison, so it'll kill you. So suck on the tar.
Man, Nick, you've been threatening your podcast guest all the time. It's amazing. But anyway, the tale of Iroh.
I can literally feel my blood pressure rising.
All right, so this story. I like
for the rest of the segment. You will use the proper enunciation.
Yeah, the cultural, the correct one that was said in the movie. That is the correct one.
Okay, humor me. You'll call him Iroh.
Maybe.
Because Iroh is the correct pronunciation in the show. In the show, they call him Iroh. So, we're talking about the show.
Okay, Iroh. The tale of Iroh.
I love you, but you're kind of hitting on like 3 of my last nerves there. So it's all good.
I can't wait. There's still time in this episode. There's still time.
Oh, yes. So this is really, honestly, the episode, when it comes to like all the segments, when people talk about this episode, they really honestly talk about this segment.
Mm-hmm.
So we see Iroh going about his day, and he's kind of doing some stuff. He's really helping people, like the soccer stuff. I love like the guy tries to rob him. And he's like, "You're using the wrong stance. Like it's all wrong." Like
he's actually giving like advice to his robber.
If you wanted to really stab me, okay, I'm gonna lose the accent. Like if you wanted to really stab,
you're doing another accent, Nick.
Yeah, literally in my head, I was like, Nick, shut the fuck up.
If you want to really stab me.
Somehow, Jared did a worse accent than me, so I'll take that win.
Well, you're wrong in the pronunciation, so I have to be wrong in terms of the accent.
2 nerves.
But anyways, so Iroh.
If at any moment I go silent and I'll start moving, this is me taking out my frustration on him, but I'm muting myself so we don't get demonetized.
Oh, there's still time.
Yes. I still have 2 nerves left. But anyway, what did you think of the guitar segment overall?
I'm going to talk about the end because he's taking out all of his little items and you think it's like a picnic, but then it turns out it's a shrine to his son that he lost in the Battle of Ba Sing Se. So it's like he's like, I wish I could have helped you. And I'm like, man, that is really poignant stuff.
Jared, do you want to know what makes this episode doubly sad?
What?
So the voice actor for Iroh, Mako, guy who voiced the coup in Samurai Jack. He's a well-known actor among certain circles. He passed away during the making of the season, and in that final shot, when it says "in memory of Mako," that was his memorial for the show.
Wow.
So that like the whole and that is Mako singing "Leaves from a Vine." That is him singing. After this, I think at some point another actor does take over, and he's like still the same voice actor to this day for Iroh. So yeah, this episode hits doubly hard. You have the in-universe, like him losing his son, but also the fact that this is a memorial to the voice actor of Iroh.
From cancer. Wow.
Yeah. And so like Leaves from a Vine hits really hard for a lot of Avatar fans. Like if you notice this whole segment, I just dropped the silliness and I got serious because
100%.
Rest in peace, Mako.
Rest in peace, brother.
Rest in peace.
So anyway, The Tale of I almost mispronounced it. The Tale of Aang, otherwise known as Aang the Zookeeper.
I would say, spoiler, this might be my favorite segment.
My favorite's the next one we're going to talk about, but in the meantime,
the rap battle.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so all right, so how does this one go, Jared?
Yeah, so Aang is helping a zookeeper. Well, first he has to herd the animals out of the city, so he herds them there. Then he uses his like earth bending skills to make a literal zoo. Except he herded everyone's animals out. So there's like a random cat there. I love that. That's really funny.
Yeah.
It's just a simple Aang fun episode, fun like segment.
What did you think of just all the different like animal combinations? Like they really like my favorite was the rabbit.
Yeah, you mean the kangaroo rabbit?
Yeah.
The kangaroo rabbit? I love that one. That's my favorite too, honestly.
Also, we got another appearance from the cabbage merchant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that
immediately.
Wait.
I gotta do this. My cabbages! Oh, screw it. Like,
yeah, immediately I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing there.
So you get like that's kind of a running joke throughout the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying with that.
They even bring the joke into Legends of Korra, by the way. So I'm just like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun fact. So in the live action show, they're gonna have the cabin merchant, and it's being played by the voice actor from this.
Oh, so yeah, that's awesome.
So the actor who did like the My Cabbages bit, he's actually gonna be playing the cabin merchant.
So that's a reason to be excited.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever really like gone into like our thoughts on the upcoming show. I am cautiously optimistic.
Optimistic. From what I've seen, it looks good. Granted, that could all just go away in a second.
The costumes, they're okay. It's just they look like a little bit too.
The actors, though, the people they cast look like their roles. That's the least we could say about it.
I'm at least reserving judgment until the trailer comes out, so I see everything in action.
And then we could do that as a special edition episode of Avatar Rewatch.
That is very possible. And I'm sure once the Netflix drops, we'll probably do an episode of that here. So
that'd be fun. I'm down for that. Next, we have the Tale of Sokka, otherwise known as Sokka enters a slam poetry battle. Immediately, it like hits me what this is, and I'm like, okay, that is very good. I like this one.
So what you're saying is the music, the moment, the one that you never ever let it go.
For the
you only get one shot. Do not miss a chance to go. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Nick, what you got to do for a thumbnail is get a picture of like a rapper in a rap battle with a sideways baseball cap, and then put Sokka's head on it with a microphone.
That would be a good thumbnail, but I was thinking of just like the memory of Mako.
Okay, yeah, that one works.
I mean, in the tagline is going to be "You will cry."
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I dug this one because again, at this point, Sokka's known for like this level of like ridiculousness, particularly when it involves women. So it's just a logical progression of the character.
He actually did pretty decently well, all things considered. I got to admit.
Yeah, exactly. He did.
I like how it was even frustrating the teacher. Like, dear God, this country bumpkin is actually showing us up.
Mm-hmm.
I love how as soon as he did that last one, even he realized, oh, wait, I got to do it. It was at that moment he knew he messed up.
Yeah, exactly. Hugh Morgan Freeman. And then Tale of Zuko. I like this one because we see a little bit more of the human side of Zuko. Because like we're starting on the whole hero's redemption story on him, and this really advances it because he's still sort of in the anti-hero area, but this makes you really feel for him.
All right, question for you, Jared. Did she know?
That is an excellent question. That's a question I was wondering. I'm like, do you know who this guy actually is? I would imagine so, because I can't imagine so many people have that same had the same scar.
Well, no. If that, I think it's like, here's the thing. I think it's pretty safe to say. Sorry, my phone like went off. I'm trying to like turn the ringer off. All right, there we go. That's better. But like, I think it's pretty safe to say he like sussed out like he was a firebender. But here's the thing: most citizens don't know the war has been going on because remember there is no war in Ba Sing Se. So what she probably assumed was, yeah, he's probably Rogue Fire Nation. Like he has that burn on the side of his face. That like, yeah, he's trying to make a better life. Like he probably just assumed the best of him. Because like he doesn't know the war even exists. So it's like, okay, he's Fire Nation, but he's like he doesn't like to talk. Like obviously, he doesn't like to talk about his past. Obviously, he has a bunch of trauma. And I'm playing like this June character. She's obviously smart. Like she's very like clearly a smart person. I think she knew it. And
now the question is, do we see her again later on in the series?
You see her kind of like I think in either at the end of the season or next season, you kind of see like a blink and you miss it kind of like shot of her at the tea shop, but that's about it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I know. Trust me, there are shippers who ship Zuko and her.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's shippers who will ship two different any characters. They even glance at each other.
Jared, you don't know this yet, but Zuko's main squeeze has been shown on the show on multiple occasions.
Okay, I'll see if I can guess as we go along. But again, I like this one. It's a good humanizing thing. The funniest one was the tale of Momo.
Oh yeah, I really like that one, especially like the how Momo perceives speech. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and I liked how he's being chased by like the jaguars. At first, I was like, "Is that a mixture between two different animals that I'm not really seeing?" But no, it's just the wild cats, and they're like chasing. They're zeros, not heroes.
No. What they are? No, they're a mixture of tabby cats and jaguars. They're taguars.
Is that serious?
No, I mean it could be, but like I was just like I love how things are so that like the fact that I just said like that the most ridiculous thing ever. You're like, he might be actually saying correctly. Like the fact that you thought I was actually correct. Like that is how I love it.
Please clap.
I regret nothing, brother. I regret nothing.
Yeah, but I like the one because it gets more onto Momo's character, and we see Appa. We see his fur, and we also see his hoof print. So that's what I do love about this. So like, yeah, it's all standalone, but they do kind of have that little snippet at the end that does kind of push the story forward. And speaking of Appa, so okay, before we start kind of briefly talking about the next episode, Jared, what is your rating for this episode? 9 out of 10. It's pretty solid. I enjoyed it.
This is going to be rare. This is a 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
It just has everything. Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. So,
nice.
So we've been talking about the second saddest episode of Avatar. Next week, we'll be talking about the saddest episode of Avatar, also known as Appa's Lost Days. Jared, did Tales of Ba Sing Se, did it kind of tug at your heartstring parts?
A little bit.
There are scenes in Appa's Lost Days that will make you legitimately upset.
Okay, so we'll see how I feel next week.
Like if you're sensitive to scenes of animal cruelty. Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Also, a little bit of a spoiler, Sokka's girlfriend making an appearance in the next episode.
Oh boy, yay!
We get to see Suki.
All right, so we will see her tomorrow. So yeah, a 9 out of 10 for me, 10 out of 10 for Nick. Wow. And sweet. I enjoyed this one.
All right. And so thank you, Jared. You have been aggravating as usual. So this has been Nick from the Phoenix Press. And remember, I can only show you the door. You're the ones to walk through it.
Gotta love Aang.